What up, Screen Fiends? I'm GB, and you're tuned in to Headz TV, where we like to discuss all the wonderful things appearing on your movie and your TV screens. I know I'm a little late with this one, but you know how it goes. Sometimes life just kicks you in the butt. I have been working on the channel, and I'm trying to work out a kind of a new format and a new schedule of things. So, I have like a little announcement video to come just to let you guys know exactly what I'm doing and what the new schedule is going to be, just so that it can fit in with my everyday life a little bit, so that when things do get rough and I do get kicked down a bit, I can still work out time for the YouTube videos. All right, with that being said, in this episode, I'm going to give my review of Fargo Season 3, Episode 6, titled The Lord of No Mercy. And this was a good one. Unexpected, totally. All right, before I just start rambling, let me go over the synopsis real quick. Gloria and Winnie get closer to the truth. Emmett tries to make things right. And Nikki and Ray prepare for payback. And then finally, Varga cleans up a mess. So first, let's talk about Nikki and Ray prepare for payback. So after the last episode where Yuri and Nemo beat Nikki from the waist down, we were all kind of wondering why that was. I'll get to the why in a minute. But we do find out this episode why they beat her the way they did. And it makes total sense. Not to say it's right or anything, but it makes total sense within the confounds of the story. Okay, so Nikki and Ray are basically trying to plot a way to retaliate for what's happened to her. So what they do is they tail Mimo and Yuri and to one of the Stussy lots, to this big like 18-wheeler that apparently Varga lives out of the back of this 18-wheeler. He's such a strange character, Varga. And he's such a great villain. I want to say he's better than Billy Bob was in season 1, but I don't think he's better than Malvo. I'm going to say right now, they're on equal planes. I really, really enjoy all the scenes with Varga. So that's a testament to the writing, the acting from David Thewlis, and everything involved. Right. All right, so that's basically what we get with Nikki and Ray is they're preparing, trying to prepare for some sort of payback in following Yuri and Nemo. And then when they're back at Ray's apartment, somebody comes knocking. They're all scared. They don't know who it is. It turns out it was the cops. So it turns out it was Gloria and Winnie. And they don't answer the door. And then they bail. They get out of there, right? And then Ray, in typical Fargo fashion, doesn't take the thousands of dollars that they had stole from Emmett. So he's forced to go back to his apartment. And that brings us to the next part of the synopsis where it says Emmett tries to make things right. So when he gets back to the apartment, him and Emmett have a great conversation, and I say it like it's two separate people. I mean, it is in the show, but, it's the same actor playing them both. Ewan McGregor is absolutely fantastic. I say that every week. So we get a nice little back and forth between them. And then, again, in typical Fargo fashion, we get a death scene that was unexpected, done in a totally unexpected way, and not inherently violent or gory, but still violent and bloody, if that makes any sense. But I loved it. And how it was the stamp that basically kills Ray. I thought that was just fantastic writing. So Coen Brothers, so Fargo, so on point. And I really thought that Ray was going to be the one person to kind of make it out of all this, or at least make it to the end and then die in the end. He, to me, was that character. There's always that one in Fargo. And I was really surprised. I thought Emmett was going to get it before Ray. I thought something was going to happen where Emmett was going to get killed and then Varga was going to have to dress up Ray to pretend to be Emmett. Like, that's what I thought was going to happen. But they're obviously not going that route because there's no way Ray survived that, right? So then that's all we got on. Well, Emmett also tries to make things right afterwards by calling Varga. But we'll get to that one next. So then we have Varga cleans up a mess. So the mess that Varga cleans up is the one that Ray caused when trying to make things right. So I just love the way Varga's like that get shit done kind of guy, right? They call him, he shows up, he and automatically he's got like a plan. Obviously, they were already planning something for Ray and Nikki. I guess to because they knew that Ray was like a thorn in Emmett's side, so Varga was already planning something, and that's why they beat Nikki the way they did. They beat her from the waist down so that whatever they were planning, and I think they were planning on killing Ray anyway and then blaming it on Nikki. So I think this just fit into their plans, only they didn't have to really get their hands dirty with the actual murder because Emmett took care of that, right? So I really think that that's where they're going with the story. They were going to kill them. They were going to use the same story of Ray beating her having enough of it and killing Ray. And I don't think it's going to play out that way. But that's Varga's, plan with it all. And just again, how fantastic is Varga though? And he's so strange with the pick and the teeth and the bulimia and just everything about him is so strange, and I really want to know more, and I feel like they're not giving us enough insight into that character, and that's a problem for me. If they don't give us a little more insight into Varga by the end of the season, that's going to be a complaint for me, because I want to know a little bit more about the guy. I'm not saying you got to give me his whole life history or give me all of his motivations for everything he does. I don't need that, but I need a little bit more on the guy, I feel. I'm okay with them not giving me more on Yuri and Mimo, but give me more on Varga, all right, so yeah, and then we have Gloria and Winnie get closer to the truth. So we just see their investigation. The way Gloria is so smart and how she susses everything out is just fantastic to me. And even the way she kind of shushes Winnie when Winnie is going to give away more information than she has to. And I just love Gloria's approach. She seems to be the smartest person in the room every single time. And Varga underestimates them at first. And as the conversation is going, you see it in Varga. He starts to get scared of Gloria because he realizes she's not your average police officer, especially not from this area, but just in general. And then when he tries to do background search on her and finds nothing out, how the police have no website, nothing, I think he gets even scareder because now he doesn't know what to make of this woman. His biggest weapon, it seemed, was information. Remember, this show takes place in 2010, so everybody wasn't technologically savvy. Everyone didn't have the internet, and the people that did know how to work that stuff had an edge up on a lot of things. So Varga's edge right now is that he has technology and uses it to his advantage, and but he can't do that with Gloria because she hates technology. You see it all throughout Fargo. We were trying to make out how come nothing ever works for her. That's the point of the character, is that she is this fish out of water. Everyone else is starting to get immersed in technology and just the way the advancements are and everything, except for Gloria. And it's an advantage for her now. It may have been a disadvantage up until this investigation, but in this investigation, it's a huge advantage. I just love the writing on the show. Is so fantastic. Now, this isn't the opening scene what I'm going to talk about. I usually talk about the opening scene, but it's close to it. The true stories that Varga tells, not only do they fit in with what Fargo is, where it's a true story, but it's not really a true story. And all of these stories he's telling are true stories, but there was falsehoods to all of them. I couldn't find a falsehood to the Lehman brothers, but I'm sure there was one in there that I'm not picking up. But then you have the sandwich where there's a falsehood where we don't know if it's true or not, but it's hard to believe that it was, it went down the way it was. With the guy's hit went wrong, then he went to a sandwich shop to eat a sandwich, and happenstance right outside is the assassination target again. So he's able to assassinate his target. So, and then the moon landing thing, which I've heard that conspiracy before. So it's just, I just love how that's what the show is about, like those stories he told. And it's just creepy coming from Varga, So that, that was really, really good. The title, The Lord of No Mercy, I'm actually gonna say that the Lord of No Mercy falls on Gloria more than anybody else, I think, because she has no mercy for any of these characters. she feels bad for none of them, and she's weary of all of them, and she suspects all of them. So she's like the Lord of No Mercy. And I thought it was going to be really about Varga, but I don't think so. Now I think it's about Gloria, because she has no mercy in going after them. And we see that in the very end where she's driving away from Ray's, and she's like, you know what, screw this, I'm going back. And she's going to go back, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next one. So as far as a character standout in this episode, I don't want to give it to Varga every week. I know I give it to Varga and Sai and Ewan McGregor. I'm giving this one to Carrie Coon. She wasn't in it a lot. But actually, no. I'm giving it to Ewan McGregor because he plays two roles, and they were fantastic in this episode, both of them. So, yeah, sorry, Carrie Coons. I wanted to give it to you because you're awesome, too. But maybe you'll earn next episode. You got a lot of competition, though. As far as our production standout, I don't talk about this enough. This isn't the first episode where they've done really well with this, but the music on this show and the use of it is so well done and so fantastic. I absolutely love it. So I'm going with the soundtrack, the music in this episode. Even though it's fantastic, every episode I'm going to get, but so is the cinematography and the writing. Everything is shot beautifully and written wonderful. So, I can't give it to everybody every week, right? So there you go. My favorite moment of the whole entire episode was absolutely, even though I love everything with Varga and everything with Carrie Coons' Gloria, I really, really enjoyed the Ray and Emmett scene. I thought that was great. Not just because somebody died, not just because it was bloody and it gave me the chills when I saw him pull that piece of glass out of his neck, but just the way it was shot and the way it was performed and written, it was just so well done. It felt like two brothers. And I always say this, but it's amazing to me how Ewan McGregor is able to make both of these characters feel like separate entities, but still feel like brothers. I love that. He's such a good actor. My least favorite moment of the whole thing, there wasn't one. Can't complain anything about this episode. It was absolutely fantastic. I'm really anxious to see more about Yuri and Mimo. I love the scene with Mimo and the lawyer, the IRS guy. How Mimo, I guess maybe they were watching surveillance videos or something, because the way Mimo sets up and exactly mirrors the IRS guy and the way he sets everything up. Exactly. They had to have been watching him first. I just love the way that was handled. And how Mimo seems to be like a jack of all trades. You could send him to kill somebody, to beat somebody, to scare somebody, or to play a lawyer. I thought that was really awesome. And you wouldn't expect it from that character because he rarely speaks, And I thought it was funny how Varga, not funny, but interesting, how Varga sends Yuri to go get the records from the cops. And Yuri's like, you want me to make it loud? And he's like, no. So Yuri just doesn't seem like a guy that can do things quietly. So I'm interested to see how he's going to handle that. Hopefully we'll get that next episode. And did you notice he had like a wolf head mask? What's that all about? I don't know. But don't forget when you're watching the show, it takes place in 2010. So that's why the technology thing doesn't seem like as up to date, just so you're aware. And I don't think that's Stalin's picture. I said in my last review that was I thought that was Stalin by Varga, by his like computer desk. And he's scared to death that he can't find anything on Gloria. I love that. The acting is so fantastic on this show. But that picture there, I think that's Lenin. I'm going to look up more about that, and I'll do a video about it, because I think all of this with Varga is going to tie into our opening scene somehow. Don't know how. No idea, but it's all going to tie in. And I just don't know what's up with the teeth and the picking of the teeth. It's really got me, man. I really want to just get inside that guy's head. And that just goes to show you how well the character is portrayed to us, that we want to get in his head, All right, yeah, that's it for this one. So my final rating on this episode, honestly, this was a perfect episode. I loved everything about it. I'm giving this one a 5 out of 5, and I don't do that often on TV shows, give a 5 out of 5. So, I really enjoyed it. So sound off down below. Let me know what you thought about Fargo Season 3, Episode 6, and what you think about the show as a whole. What you think about my reviews and my approach. Anything at all. All criticism is good criticism in my mind, even if it's bad criticism. Alright, so, yep, that's it for this one. Thanks again for watching. Always appreciated. You guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time.